Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, this Friday through the weekend, we have got a 10 times shard event that we always have. Yeah, it's always out there every other week. But they are doing more stuff with these 10 times. They're definitely trying to encourage people more and more. They're doing it again. A guaranteed champion and a really strong one, an epic. I'll get onto that in a minute. And then the rest of the champions, it's like Poison Week. And I tell you now, there's 2 in this list which I really want. And I know it's not the right time to pull shards. Even for someone who's a whale, it's a terrible time. But I'm probably going to be tempted right in. So let's start with the guaranteed champion. And this is a void event. So let me just make sure I get the dates right on this. I think it's for the whole weekend here. On your 25th void shard, 25. Does it feel fair? No one will feel like it's fair. 25 void shards in, you will guarantee yourself Godseeker Aniri. This is a quality epic, okay? This is a quality epic, and she's been doing some work in Hydra, which is probably, they're trying to push Hydra, of course. She's been doing work there. She's in my clan boss team, 200 million team. The reason she gets into those type of teams is because she's a great healer. Yeah, so she's got a bit of a heal on her A1. Heals the ally with the lowest HP by 5%. It's not loads, but it's an okay heal. She's got a decent heal on her A2 on a 3-turn cooldown. This ability also decreases the duration of all buffs. This is why it's so good for Hydra, because you want to be like bringing the Hydra heads buffs down. And at the same time, she increases your buffs. That's why she's good in some of these crazy clan boss teams. You bring someone in like a Lydia with increased speed, and Godseeker increases that increased speed count so that you actually get it up for the whole time. And then you can make a really fast team. So this is a great ability. She also increases the duration of your things like your block debuffs and all of those good buffs as well. She's got a revive, which is cool. So revives with half health, half turn meter, and resets the cooldown of their ability. So if you're running like a enemy max HP nuker, like a Husk or a Royal Guard, she picks them back up to do their ability straight away, which is actually pretty cool. It's on quite a long cooldown, 4 turns, but it is cool if that's like your main aim of your team in somewhere like Hydra to do your damage. And then she's also got this really cool passive as well. So a passive effect increases healing generally by 10%. So if you're pairing her with other healers like Vogoths and stuff, they'll just heal for more, which is cool. And then this active effect, 4-turn cooldown on it. If someone's about to be killed, preempts that kill and puts revive on death on them before, so they just pop straight back up. It's a very cool passive. Like, this is a great kit. 25 void shards. I mean, if you're going to pull shards because you like the look of some of these other champs, then this is a great reward at 25, in my opinion. 25 is a lot, though. I mean, we're talking... I mean, that's basically valuing this champion at like $100, which is a lot. So if you've got them and you were going to pull anyway, fine. If you're like, should I go and buy shards for this? It seems extreme. It seems an extreme amount, but 25, I guess they've got to have a level somewhere. It does feel like quite a lot. Let's get on to the other champions then in this 10 times. Okay, so first one up, Anax. Anax is a decent epic. Hits very hard. It's got good ability. Some people use him in Bommel for kind of like teams where you need the decreased accuracy and you're going for like a resistance type of build. He's used in unkillable teams for clan boss because he brings weaken, decreased defense, and poison. So lots of good abilities for unkillable teams. But he does have this weird passive that makes him get extra turns. So you kind of need him in a block damage unkillable team, like a Demetha one or a Roshgard the Tower type one, so that he doesn't just proc his extra turns and gets himself killed by outrunning the unkillable buffs. But outside of that, he's one of the harder hitter champions that can do this type of stuff. And he fits in that team really well. He's good champion, not crazy champion, in my opinion. Next one on the list, a little bit old school nowadays, but still a pretty decent carry. Wrong one. Pretty decent carry for the Skinwalkers. So Steel Skull, as I say, old school, used to be in like the best clan boss teams when I first started the game. Everyone wanted a Steel Skull back then. Now there's a ton more champions in the mix, and he's not used as much, but still got an okay amount of poison on his A1. Honestly, if they just up the percentage of this poison, he'd be back as a top tier. That's the only thing that lets him down. Is his chance of landing the poisons is a bit too low. But he's got a great A2, big heal, cleanse at the same time on a 3-turn cooldown. And then he's got a good A3 as well. Heals the whole team whilst putting increased defense on them, 4-turn cooldown. Very fast, okay base stats, and a faction crypt aura as well. Not a bad epic, but not a crazy one, again. The next one, I actually think is an awesome epic. And probably a bit underrated. I had this one, or have this one on my free-to-play. Very high base stats. One of the few champions, certainly in epics in the game, that has got this ability. I was thinking about doing this whilst taking a shower this morning. A video specifically on this. Epics that have got this type of passive is so big. So basically, the passive amounts to, if an enemy hits you that have got heal reduction on, she does this, then reduces the damage you take by 15% across your team. It's almost like a mini strengthen ability across your team. Straight up mitigates damage. Makes it extremely valuable in high damage threats. You know, you've got Geomancer does a similar type of thing. Extremely valuable to just cut off 15% of the damage you're going to take. Also got decrease target's max HP on the A1 if they're under heal reduction. This is great for Scarab Boss, by the way. She's got a decreased defense and decreased attack, providing they're under poison. And she puts out poison and heal reduction AoE on her A3. And this hits hard, by the way. Like, she's not a slouch when it comes to some damage as well, if you wanted to build her that way. So, great champion. Great epic, this one. Really good. And then the Void epic. This is going to cause some upset, I'm sure. No one likes this person being spoken about. Eurodream. Eurodream drives emotion because he was hard nerfed. Hard nerfed, but still insanely good, by the way. But when he came out, it was like better than most legendaries in the game. So now gives you a good level of poison on the A1. Got a very similar skill to Steel Skull on the A2. Heal and cleanse. It's basically the same ability. 3-turn cooldown. And then he has got basically a Bad L style A3. 4-turn cooldown. Throws out poisons everywhere. And puts continuous heals on your team. This dude will probably pair well with the Fragment champion that is coming next week. So the more I'm thinking about this Fragment champion, it's more like if you've got specific champions to go alongside him with multiple continuous heal buffs, he could end up running and the whole team could end up running at an insane speed. And then he might be a lot of fun, actually. So far I've said, no, this champion looks bad. In the right circumstances, and I'm going to try him if we get a chance on the test server before he goes live. In the right circumstances, he could end up being kind of broken and fun. So we will see. Good base stats, though. Good aura as well. Eurodream is still a great epic champion. So on to the legendaries then. First one up. It's actually someone I don't have. Christoph the Bold. I don't know if he's ever really found his place into the game. They buffed him once. He's got a kind of decent A1. Decreases target's max HP. This is mainly like a Scarab Boss ability if you're using it anywhere. He's got this A2, attacks 3 times, puts a poison for each hit on all enemies. So he attacks one enemy 3 times, but he puts poisons everywhere. So if you're pairing him with a poison exploder, like a Xavier or a Belinore, then this is a great ability. Also, if you're pairing with someone like a Calvalx, great ability. And endgame, well, I say endgame, like high-level Doom Tower waves, this is guaranteed damage. Yeah, when you can't land the hits and it's very difficult to do damage, multi-poisons, multi-HP burns, they're your guaranteed damage. And then he's got an OK A3 as well, which hits okay. He's not bad. I don't think he's great either. So let's move on to the champion. I just literally pulled another Xavier on my main. Xavier. This is a great champion. If you're looking to do speed running and you don't have a seer, Poison Explosion is the next best thing on the list. So she has got attacks all enemies, kills and block revives. And And she does the damage through ripping poisons off of the enemies. Plus, she actually physically hits at the same time as well. But this is a big smack. And it could absolutely wipe out a whole wave of enemies if you've got enough poisons out there. She's also got an A2, which is AoE, applies poison. And she's got an A1, which applies poison as well. She's one of the best poisoners in the game. And she's got this cool skill on her A3. She's a great champion, really is. Pairs with Belinore as well for this kind of debuff spread. It's an okay kind of passive thing. Belinore probably is just not really in the meta anywhere. So I can't imagine that he would really get involved. But the rest of her abilities are good. Decent aura as well. Okay base stats, but very squishy. Very low base defense. So she's quite hard to keep alive. But a great legendary champ. We've then got someone that is also on my kind of wish list of champions. Calvalx. What a cool looking champion. So this is the champion that was designed by a player. I was able to test him when he first got released, which was a real privilege, actually. But damn, look at the design of this. Such a cool design. Look at this. And the kit matches the design in this case. So he's a bit weak in terms of HP, a very low HP, actually. So he's, again, quite difficult to keep alive. But this guy smacks. He smacks, and he's a lot of fun. So what's going on then? He's got an A1... 40% goes up to 55 chance to increase the duration of all poisons on a target by a turn and heals himself by an amount of poison out there. And you'll see in a minute, this could be a decent heal because he puts poisons out there like you wouldn't believe. A2 attacks an enemy, places an extra hit for each poison. Again, can get up to 4 hits with this total. And this is on a 3-turn cooldown and it hits hard. And then this is the cool one. So he's one of the few AoE enemy max HP champions. His AI is very wonky. He will not do this unless you tell the AI to do this. But does an AoE, damage increases according to the number of poisons. So if you've got a load of poisons out there, plus you still need decreased defense. Yeah, weaken helps as well. And he'll lay an absolute cannon of an AoE hit with this. He's also got a passive, which is one of my favorite passives in the game. So places 4 poisons on all enemies for 2 turns at the start of a round. So that will work in the start of an arena fight. It'll work at the start of Clan Boss, but only for once that will ever happen because there's only ever 1 round in Clan Boss. Every Doom Tower wave is a round. Every wave of content is a round. First time you face a boss, it's a round. That's the way that works. 50% chance after that of placing a poison on all enemies at the start of each turn. That's when he takes a turn. So he just lands poisons all over the place. Whenever an enemy places a poison on him, takes it off, changes it for a heal. Such a cool passive, right? It's really, really fun. And it pairs really nice with this smack as well, and with his other abilities. Speed in all battles as well. Oh, man, this guy is literally the full package. I love, 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 love this champion. So, Calvalx, super awesome. So, the last one on the list, Void Legendary, Lizardman, the new guy, Chagur. This guy... I mean, he's straight up busted. He is straight up totally nuts. I tested him on stream when he first came out on the test server. Straight up insanity, this guy. A1 has got a chance, 50%, goes up to 75 of placing a sleep for a turn. And you're like, feels all right. You're wrong. It's insane. Because his passive instantly attacks enemies with his default skill, which is his A1, whenever they receive damage from a poison. Okay? So his passive makes him do his A1. And his A1 puts people to sleep. So every time someone's about to take a turn, if they've got poison on them and they take damage, he nips in, A1 puts them back to sleep again. Totally nuts. When hitting enemies under poison debuffs, heals his champion by 10% of the damage inflicted instead. They were meant to change this passive because the passive makes absolutely 0 sense unless this 25% chance is adding to this 75, which it might be. So it might be now that this wasn't how it read before. It might be now this is 100% chance. I think it probably is to place that sleep. But it's kind of weird that the books are here instead of here, honestly. So the A2 then, AoE ability, hits twice. First hit, Booked out, 100% chance of placing a poison for 4 turns. Void legendary, so he just needs the accuracy to do it. Can't weak hit. The second hit puts out decreased defense for 3 turns. 3-turn cooldown. So he puts the poison out himself. If they have a turn, he comes in and sleeps them. So nuts. Before they get to do anything. So it's like, it's crazy. And then the A3 is quite a hard hit. Attacks one enemy, then attacks another one at random. If the target's under poison, which he does, ignores shield, block damage, and unkillable. Gets an extra turn if he kills an enemy as well. Also resets Venom Storm if this attack kills 2. I mean, it's just nuts. It's nuts. Attacking all battles aura. Good base stats. Again, a bit low on health. But he is a cool Void Legendary. Definitely a fun one. So, look. It's a 10 times. Should we be pulling shards? Probably not. But they do keep tempting us in with either amazing champs or these kind of guaranteed events. Let me know what you're going to do below. I've been Hell Hades. I will see you later.